Am I projecting with that title? Maybe a little. But look, I am a gamer. And as lame as that sounds, that means I've been around the block. Shooters, co-ops, MOBAs, sandboxes, RPGs. I played a little bit of everything. Now, the topic of the hardest video game genre or the one with the highest skill floor is very subjective, and there are many reasons for this. Mostly because of how different game genres can be from one another, possibly requiring players to learn a whole new set of mechanics and skills to play them. Subgenres in these genres having different skill floors, such as the low skill floor of arcade shooters such as COD or Halo, simply being point and click on the guy who wants to kill you, versus the higher floor of movement or tactical shooters such as Titanfall and Counter-Strike, which is the same idea, except they're either dancing around like madmen or pointing and clicking hard. MOBAs in comparison not really having subgenres, unless you count top-down and third-person views as a whole new mechanic, and as a result has a more set-in-stone floor, but an extremely high ceiling thanks to all the different variables present. But this can also be because all players are different and can pick up on one set of mechanics from a genre faster than another. You could play Valorant and have every bullet you shoot seemingly bounce off the enemy's head, then turn around and drop a penta in League, you poor soul. Point is, video games are very technical, and that's the beauty of it all. And in my very personal opinion that may or may not be fact, but now I'm making it fact, I found the most technical, the most unforgiving game genre of all. One that, even if you've never touched a single game from that genre, you would agree that 95% of the players are absolutely trash at the genre but still play it anyway because it's challenging, rewarding, and most importantly, hype as shit. Yes, sir. Fighting games. Let's talk about it. I've been pretty interested in fighting games for a few years now. I'd watch people actually good at the games play them, and even those going in depth on specific characters in games I'll never play while not understanding a damn thing. Why? I don't know. But I did really like seeing how detailed and thought out movesets in these games can be. And the complete opposite. In my broke middle school days where I'd have to beg my parents for one $60 game a year, fighting games were definitely last on that list. Though I do remember messing around a bit in Brawlhalla because it was like literally the only free fighting game on PS4. Of course I was complete doom trash, like I mean bottom of the barrel, trash. But recently I've been getting back in with Multiverses last year. Remember that game? Oh man. And most recently in the summer I bought Tekken.
Oh, brother!
Yeah, you can guess how well that went, but I mostly played online with my buddy, and I would beat his ass, he would be mine harder. It was fun times. Then I got Street Fighter 6, and while I'm still an Iron Warrior, it's a pretty fun game to learn, and the World Tour is an amazing way to introduce new folks to the genre, like your boy. Now, there's a lot of subgenres in fighting games. We got traditionals, which are the 1v1 bash each other's heads in until one drops kind of fighter. But these can branch off into their own thing, like 3D fighters allowing for movement on the Z plane. Holy shit, absolutely revolutionary. And tag team fighters letting you play as more than one character, or letting you use assists, or even both. Also revolutionary, but I don't like them. There's even anime fighters, which are just traditionals on steroids because of their extremely convoluted movement options like air dashes, and don't even get me started with their combos. And the supers could be pretty damn extra sometimes. They are pretty cool though. Then there's platform fighters, which are pretty similar, but now you have a lot of air movement. Platforms, it's in the name. And instead of simply dropping people to the ground, you brutally drop them into the void.
Nice throw!
These games can also be 2v2 or even 4-player free-for-alls. Platformers do have a bigger casual audience due to their genuine gameplay and accessibility, and also the titles that get released tend to take themselves a lot less seriously. I mean, imagine Kirby eating Ganon or Snake, or Shaggy going Super Saiyan and delivering Dark Justice, or even Ronald McDonald for some reason. It really comes down to personal preference when it comes to which one you'd find the most enjoyable. Personally, I like traditional fighters the most, and that's simply cause I'm shit at air movement. Character movesets can be incredibly varied depending on the type of game they're in.
Getting cold feet?
They generally have standing attacks, aerial attacks, and crouching attacks if the game allows you to squat. These attacks are usually different from character to character, but what really sets a character apart from others are their specials. These can be projectiles like fireballs, hat throws, guns, and even dolphin, whale, or command grabs, which are arguably the most hilarious moves to hit, even though they have garbage range. They're completely unblockable. They deal insane amounts of damage, and are basically the trademark moves of my favorite type of fighting game character, which I'll get to later. There's even anti-airs, which smacks your opponent out the air if they even dare try to jump at you. All these moves make up your character's possible combos. They're bread and butter. Combos can be incredibly simple on the surface but can turn into a 300 hit beatdown, which has to be inputted completely frame perfect or you drop the whole damn thing. It doesn't matter what type of game you're playing. Combos are a big part of the game. If you ain't crossing them up like it's hopscotch, mixing them up like it's a blender, cooking them like it's well done, you ain't playing a fighting game. You just ain't. Now, another reason why platformers have a more casual audience is because of how their inputs are done. In platform fighters, most specials are directional inputs, like neutral special, side special, down special, and up special. Just move a direction and hit the special button. Simple.
Yep.
And of course, there are some exceptions, usually from other fighting game characters, which is hilarious. But traditional movesets use lots and lots of motion inputs, which are super cool but also completely bullshit. Motion inputs are another reason why the vast majority of gamers might be turned off from fighters, because in terms of how different these controls are, I mean, the mere thought of having to accurately input a quarter circle, or half circle, or an entire freaking circle to perform specials, plus those specials potentially having different effects depending on your normal input after your motion input, is pretty crazy, man. And it doesn't just stop at circles. There's more unique types of inputs like charge inputs, requiring you to hold down a single button, then another input to perform the move. By itself, not the worst, but the timing for combos with these inputs still catch me pretty often. Then there's the dreaded Dragon Punch motion, an input I forget exists 90% of the time, and when I attempt to do it, comes out maybe 30% of the time. Damn it, man, they didn't come out! It'll let you, I know. With all these inputs and the fact that even combos that look easy require super precise timing and delays to perform, again, no wonder people refuse to try these games. Let's not even talk about the fact that these inputs flip depending on the side you're facing. Yes, you need to flip your entire brain, but let's not think about that. I'm getting overloaded. I mean, at this point, I wonder why motion inputs even exist. Like, why can't we just use one button? Oh, wait.
Bro, why? Stop. I got modern. You think I can't react to... Oh.
I'm kidding though. Even if motion inputs make combos way more complex than they really should be, let's be real. It feels super satisfying to hit a combo into a super and just wash your opponent, you know? Supers are just the bread and butter of any character. They can make them or break them, and helps distinguish the character in any archetype they might fall into. And now you might be asking, archetypes? What the hell are you talking? Shut up, just shut up and listen, okay? That's right. Just as there's roles like damages, supports, and tanks in other games, fighting games have their own system of these roles called the archetypes. Even if it isn't explicitly said what archetype a character falls into, you could probably guess from how they play. Like a dude who's super fast and just ongo bongo's their way through everything would be a rushdown character. These guys have a metric shit ton of tools to get into your face and constantly unload their pressure all over you with their combos and damage. Or Shotos, which are a bit more relaxed and have pretty essential tools like fireballs, anti-airs, and overheads, making them a pretty nice pick for new players and old heads alike. Then there's zoners, who are the complete opposite of rushdown and want absolutely nothing to do with you, so they want you either here or all the way over there. Yes, stay there forever please. So they got a lot of projectiles and other tools to slip away when you manage to get in. These guys are very friggin' annoying. Which is probably bad news for my main boys, the grapplers, which are unga bunga on literal steroids since they can no diff you in 2 command grabs tops. Problem is they're usually huge, and in the average round you will spend more time trying to get in than actually doing your business.
Alright, it's time to get in.
But when you do get in, ain't nobody saving them. Of course there are some exceptions. I'm looking at you, Tager. Skipping neutral like it's nobody's business. Which is why you might like semi-grapplers, who are a lot more mobile and have more tools to get in while not completely needing to rely on their grabs. But yeah, grapplers are my favorite archetype, and it's pretty funny too since usually these guys are almost always rock bottom on tier lists. Which I get. Balancing these guys is like tickling a dragon's nose. One screw up and the whole damn place goes down in flames.
Oh, come on.
There's really nothing more satisfying than reading your opponent who's acting like they won't get command grab. Again, not like I would know anything about that.
Nah, you didn't.
And the archetypes just keep going. We got Footsie's characters who want to poke and fake you out, Stan's characters who can unlock whole new movesets to mix you up, Composites, which are a nasty mishmash of various characters in the game, Puppets, which are zoners but with stands now, and the most goated character type, the joke characters. You've never seen peak form before Dan the D-Man Hibiki spends all his meter on his ultimate move, Insta-kill taunt. Oh, god damn it. Of course, with how meticulous character kits have to be, the characters themselves have to be just as expressive for all that hard work to pay off. I think out of all the game genres out there, fighting games gotta have the most diverse and interesting character designs. Character movesets are already super diverse, so it gives room for the designs themselves to shine through super well. And you can make a design for anything. It could be the most normal Joe Schmo, to British boxers, vampire samurais, spicy vampires, one-man bands, Super Saiyans, wrestlers, weird-ass blobs, immortal timekeepers, imposters, I swear the joke is still funny, the Grandmaster of Drip himself, literal cars, and whatever the hell this is. One of my favorite characters would have to be Dudley. Not only because of his smooth personality, but his even smoother moveset and damage. There's nothing more satisfying than watching this guy's combos. Okay, fine. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing a bus stop. But you know, Potemkin is a really cool dude. I mean, when I first saw his design in older Guilty Gear games, I thought this dude was just some thug. But apparently he used to be a slave and is actually a super intelligent and considerate dude, and helped this guy overthrow the nation and free the slaves.
What are you going to do?
Enjoy the hunt.
And became a high-ranking member in his army, so good for him. Oh yeah, but of course the damage is there. But on the topic of Guilty Gear, Slayer also stands out to me a lot, because this dude is him, simply. He's a vampire who wears crosses on his clothes for starters, pretty damn ironic. Next thing you know, he's actually smoking garlic powder. And he has a completely no bullshit fighting style. I mean, apparently he's extremely strong, and instead of just no diffing you, he's like, nah, let me mix you up instead. He does this all while giving you advice while you're fighting him and being very mildly annoyed if you actually somehow manage to beat him. It's hilarious. Like he's just laying there. Also, this guy's music is just as fire as his drip. But wait, isn't he yeah, this guy is the definition of standing on business. Best part is I've never even played these three and I like him so much. But going by people I have played, DJ is cool as shit. First off, having some Jamaican representation is amazing, and his kit is super freaking fun. All the man cares about is dancing and music, and his playstyle is just dancing circles around you while he mixes you to the beat, and he looks damn good doing it. I think the only person that's even close to as drippy as him in Street Fighter 6 is JP, honestly. Close second. And the King from Tekken might not be a man of many words, but his backstory is super multi-dimensional. He was raised as an orphan and was taken in by the former king who got murked. So he took up the mantle to fight for the kids. Then he beefed with some guy, had his other mentor Armor King get murked by that guy. Then King beat his cheeks, then they became chill. But then Armor King's little bro beefed that same guy and got his cheeks beat. It's crazy, and I think I got that wrong. But I haven't even tickled the surface. There are so many unique characters with deep lore spanning years, and at this point there's a character for everyone. That just brings us back to the main question though. If there's this much going on with fighting games, why are so many people so reluctant to try them out? Why are fighting games known as arguably the hardest game genre, at least in multiplayer? Different games have varying bars for entry, and this especially depends on the genre. An FPS might literally just want you to be able to point and shoot, and maybe learn some positioning if you're feeling dangerous. But then tactical shooters can crank that knowledge up to 100, requiring you learn to consistently use that positioning to force fights to be in your favor, and to line up headshots, use utility, communicate with your team, all that. Sports games,
Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey,
racing games, and MOBAs, MOBAs require some or all of those things. Except you usually aren't clicking heads off, and in MOBA games you are not only fighting the enemy team, but your own team as well. In a fighting game, there's just so much you need to know. Neutral game, set play, hit confirms, Oki, unblockables, sweeps, overheads, even the ultra technical shit like active frames, startup frames, and recovery frames. On top of learning character movesets and commands, which could maybe be 6 to 10 special inputs for a character, unless you couldn't give less of a damn than Tekken. Up to 197 special moves held by my boy King. I respect it. Okay, I guess Slay exists. But this just puts into perspective how complicated some of the characters on the higher end of the difficulty slope can be. Not just because someone like Lei is like a 7 stance character with basically over 250 unique moves. I mean, that's part of it, but also because of the mechanical skill and mental fortitude it would take to learn your best moves and optimal combos, and how to fight the rest of the cast with their just as diverse movesets. Same thing with Gen, who's another stance switcher, or Zato 1, or Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Dhalsim, who apparently has so much potential no one was able to fully tap into it. In fighting games, there's no team to back you up. Yes, there's exceptions like 2v2s and assists, kinda. Most of the time it's just you versus just your opponent. There's no healer to blame for not pocketing you, no tank to blame for not setting up shop in front of your face, no one to blame for your mistakes but yourself, and the shitty netcode. But this is on top of whatever gimmicks the game adds, like Street Fighter's V-triggers and reversal mechanics.
Oh yes!
Or the new drive gauge, which I actually really like. Or Tekken's rage arts, which I don't like. Or its heat system, which is pretty cool. Guilty Gear's burst system. Wall breaks and Roman cancels, which are different if you aren't attacking, are attacking but whiffed, are currently smacking them up. If you're blocking, I am talking a lot about Guilty Gear. I think I'm gonna buy it. Fighting games are absolutely loaded with things to keep track of, and due to their normally fast-paced and super competitive nature, a large majority of gamers will be naturally turned off from playing them. And it's not like they're bad or casuals. for not giving them a shot. Anyone could be good at a fighting game. But getting to the point of calling yourself even above average takes a lot of accumulated game sense, patience, and hours. But on the flip side, the competitive nature of these type of games will foster incredible tight-knit and strong communities. Because fighting games have history. They've been around for a while. And because of this, so many people have made a name for themselves in these communities by innovating and shaping the meta of these games.
It's the same old fucking shit!
And most importantly, creating some hype as hell moments. The Daigo parry. Justin Wong's 3v1 comeback.
Oh my god! Just don't
The Wombo combo. Viscount washing high tier human 10 to 6.
Bitch! Bitch! Come here, bitch!
They're getting too high. And that's it. That's it. AJ is popping off.
There's gonna come a point when you forget about what happened, and you're gonna want to come back at me, and you're gonna want to wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth.
Again, I haven't even tickled the surface with these examples, but fighting game culture is just so good at generating hype. Just so good at pushing out moments like these. It's amazing. Of course, the rage moments are just as prevalent, and people can be extremely toxic at these events, in attitude as well. And that's just the nature of these games. People might get genuinely mad or whatever, but most of it is simply trash talk. At the end of the day, it keeps tension going and keeps things interesting. And just like any community besides MOBAs, there are a lot of genuinely nice people out there. If you're a vet in this genre, you could probably sympathize with the hardships and struggles of a new player because you were there too. And just like you pushed through and became good, you would probably help others reach that point too. Fighting games are, in my opinion, that is now fact, the most satisfying and rewarding games to get good at. They're flashy, they're fun most of the time. And with newer features like Street Fighter's modern system, people who otherwise wouldn't even breathe air near a fighting game are finally giving it a shot and actually having fun. And that's truly a win-win scenario for everyone. The commitment is pretty hard. I mean, you're probably dropping over $30 for most fighting games unless they're very old. But if you want to give it a shot, I seriously recommend it. But I hold absolutely no responsibility if a controller snaps in half. That's on you. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, sub, hit that bell, holla that, and I'll catch you later.
Too much TV is bad for you!
Oh no. You can't be serious. Yo. I don't know what he's gonna do next. Oh my gosh.
Yeah!
Dog.
What?
How did you block the ground? I'm sorry, bro. What's this?